Hey guys, how's it going? So I thought you guys might find this topic interesting, which is basically sunlight and skin cancer. So basically, if you go back 75 years ago, plus rates of skin cancer were super low. So, you know, and the further back you go, the more time people spent outside, out in the sun. So it would make sense to think that, well, they should have had technically more rates of cancer, skin cancer, back then compared to what they have now, just because of how often they're outside working, you know, doing farming jobs, etc. and whatnot. But the case is that skin cancer has dramatically increased over the last 75 years up until now, obviously it being at its all-time high right now. And the reason for that is to do with our diets. So it's a mixture of diets and things that we're exposed to. You know, it's not exposure to sunlight. If you type in on the internet now, what causes skin cancer, it'll say excess skin exposure to UV, right? But at this time in our lives, this is the point where we've been the least exposed to sunlight in our entire history of humankind, right? So that makes no sense, you know. But the real issue is the fact that we are consuming polyunsaturated types of fats now. So that includes rapeseed oil, vegetable oils, any type of seed oils pretty much, or high processed fat oils or peanut oils, things like this, right? Because the way that their molecular chain is structured, it makes it very difficult to break down, and they also can be stored in our own fat cells. So basically we can store these unstable free radical type of fats in our bodies, which makes it even worse because then it takes time for our bodies to get rid of it and break it down. But if we are eating seed oils, vegetable oils and these things regularly, then even in small amounts, it takes a while for these to get rid of. So pretty much they are in the skin. So they lay in the layers beneath the skin, in the fat layers. So what that means is that when the sunlight comes down, hits us, the UV rays, it will interact with those fat cells and the basically laying dormant polyunsaturated, damaging free radical fats that can't be broken down properly because they are literally foreign objects in the body. So all seed oils, by the way, cause inflammation. They're all inflammatory, all bad for you, especially if they're high processed, bleached, or HPE or whatever it's called when they've gone through all the processing. Only just for reference, the only oils that are pretty much good for you are olive oil, coconut oil, and avocado oil. I think avocado oil is okay, needs more research, but I will look into that. But yeah, coconut oil, avocado oil, they are good. And also fats like some certain tallows and maybe goose fat and other things like, you know, like unprocessed fats. So, but vegetable oils, rapeseed oils, you don't want them. So going back into it, when the sunlight comes down and it reacts with our skin, it basically helps trigger the mutation of cells into cancer cells because your cells are already being oxidized because of the bad fats that are in your body. So this is under research at the moment, and it's a fact that seed oils and these things cause high amounts of inflammation, and inflammation is enough to cause damage to cells, which then causes them to mutate. So this is what we know as cancer in general. So we know that bad diets with high inflammatories such as wheats, breads, sugars, any added sugars and any vegetable oils, all of these cause high inflammation in the body. And when there's high inflammation and we don't have a chance to recover because we're having breakfast, lunch and dinner with cereal, bread, wheat, more and whatever, we're having sugar, we never get a break from it. We have it every day. We're in a constant state of acute inflammation. So what that means is that over time, eventually our cells, certain cells won't be able to cope with that and they will mutate into cancer cells, and then they will then thrive off glucose also. So, but we're not just talking about that. This is mostly about the sunlight, UV rays coming down. So there are other things as well. So heavy metals in the skin. So, you know, such as arsenic, mercury and lead and all these types of things. Sometimes there can be trace amounts in products that we have and even things that we eat. And also even sun creams have certain compounds in them that are also inflammatory causing and react with sunlight in the wrong way. So what I'm saying to you guys is if we live a more healthier lifestyle and we cut out the breads, wheat, sugars, vegetable oils, and these types of things, then we won't have anything to react with the sunlight, and we can go back to having healthy tans like we did previously. So there's a lot of studies out there, and I urge you to go read for yourself. But yeah, there's some really good info on telling us that sunlight isn't our enemy, and it's our diets that are the enemy. But this is just in fact with sunlight for today. But yeah, anyway guys, hope you enjoyed that little rant, but there will be more.